Are we filming? Hey everybody, Fabio here. Today I wanted to talk about how I got my first job in the animation industry. Hopefully this can shed some light and help you break into the industry yourself. Now, I didn't go to school for animation. I actually studied business and I graduated in 2017. By the time I was done school, I knew that business wasn't something that I wanted to get into. So that's where my animation journey began. I started with no animation skills, no animation demo reel, no connections in the animation industry, and no idea of how it really worked. But thankfully, one of the bartenders at the bar we used to go to, he worked at Nelvana and he became one of my first mentors. He filled me in on what animation software to start learning to use, what animation style I should focus on, and he even critiqued my animation work to tell me where I needed to improve. With his help, with the online resources on Toon Boom, with online tutorials on YouTube, I was able to piece together a very crude first demo reel. It wasn't good at all, but it was a start. Animation isn't easy, so I just needed some more time to get better, to get my work to that studio level. Especially because I didn't have any contacts in the industry at all, I needed a solid portfolio. My work had to speak for itself before I even thought about networking with anyone else. What did I do? I took a year and I went to teach English in Korea. Little counterintuitive, but the job had enough free time where I could get paid and at the same time focus on building up my animation skills and building up my reel. So by the end of that year, I had a demo reel that I would start sending out to people who worked at different animation studios. I would send it out over LinkedIn. So I basically was just asking for feedback to start a dialogue and start building up my network in the industry. I also felt comfortable enough to start applying to jobs that studios would post. I would visit their websites, I would follow them on LinkedIn to get updates on when they were posting. I would send my reel out. Whenever I got rejected or when I would receive feedback, I would implement that in my reel. So I would redo my demo reel and then send it out again. So I'll work on my reel for 3 months, send it out, get feedback, work on my reel for 3 more months, send it out, get feedback. And I did that for a whole year. Each iteration of my demo reel, I was starting to get more engagement from those studios that I was applying to. They would start sending me something called an animation test, which is basically a test of your skills in the context of the show that you're about to work on. I would always do horrible on these tests. I just wasn't at that skill level just yet. But it was a very good experience because it kind of gave me a preview of what a professional scene would look like. And that was kind of my life for the next few months. Getting animation tests, failing animation tests, asking for feedback, and trying again. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty discouraging at times. There were times where I felt like I wasn't getting better and maybe this whole animation thing wasn't for me. Kept at it, and slowly but surely, I did start to see little improvements in my skills. Then I got really lucky. A recruiter on LinkedIn reached out to me and said that Snapchat was looking for 2D animators for a show that they were developing. It ended up being Bitmoji TV. So I did the interview and they sent me a test. I ended up doing very well on that test, finally, and I ended up getting the job. I'd say it was lucky because the style of show that they were doing, it was very simple animation with very simple character rigs. It was basically perfect for my skill level at that time. That's basically the story. Building off that momentum at Snapchat, I was able to meet some extremely talented artists, learn so much. Here I am now, in a pretty good spot when it comes to finding work in the industry. Knock on wood. So I guess the biggest takeaways that I found are: 1, having a solid portfolio. Not a perfect one, good enough where they can see that you have potential. 2, networking on LinkedIn and finding a mentor. That is huge. Give you insights in the industry and help critique your work. And 3 is taking feedback and actually implementing it into your work. This way you actually improve and people see that you actually improve, which is gonna strengthen your relationship as well. So enough about me, but thanks guys for listening. Hopefully this kind of gives you some confidence when it comes to breaking into the industry yourself. Until next time, happy animating. I'll see you guys later.